Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. Liberians are anxiously awaiting the results of the presidential runoff election. Vote counters in the West African country are tabulating ballot cast for either Vice President Joseph Boakai or former soccer star George Weah, who predicted a win after voting on Tuesday.
I know that I'm going to win. I'm not associated with losing. So this victory is certain, and I'm going to win.
Weah says his victory is assured because the popular vote is behind his coalition. However, critics of Weah, 51, say he has almost no real political or governing experience, and opponents of Boakai, 73, have accused him of doing little as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's vice president. International observers, including former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, are at the polling stations to monitor vote counting, which largely appeared to have come off without a major snag.
So one person must win. That person is a Liberian. The person who will lose is also a Liberian. So the issue is not winning or losing. If you win, you celebrate. And you celebrate maturely because you're going to be the president of everybody. If you lose, you also accept gallantly.
Well, pollsters say Tuesday's election is too close to call, and official final results aren't expected for a few days. Either Boakai or Weah will succeed President Sirleaf, who is stepping down after serving 12 years as Africa's first elected female leader. If all goes smoothly, Liberia will see its first peaceful and democratic transfer of power in more than 70 years. Now, for the latest on the presidential runoff election, James Butty, managing editor of VOA's Daybreak Africa, joins me by phone from Monrovia. Good evening, James.
Good evening, Vincent, and good evening to your listeners.
Thank you. Now, have election authorities there announced any provisional results up to this point?
Vincent, we were told this morning, first of all, right now, vote tally is going on at the National Elections Commission under the watchful eye of representatives of the two parties that went into the runoff. That's the Coalition for Democratic Change of George Weah and the ruling Unity Party of Vice President Joseph Boakai. The general public is also invited to watch the tallying process. We are told by the National Elections Commission's officials that sometime during today that the commission is going to give some kind of its first official preliminary result.
Now, there are international observers. We've seen sometimes controversy over their pronouncements in other countries like Kenya. What are they saying, and what is the reaction?
I think you're right. They're being very guided. They're being very guided. Right now, as we speak, I'm outside the conference hall of a joint news conference by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which are the observer missions led by the former Ghanaian President, Mr. Mahamat, and the African Union Commission, which observer missions led by Mr. Erastus Mwecha, the former Deputy Chair of the African Union Commission. They are holding a news conference right now based on observations that they have gathered from their different representatives in the different polling places in Liberia's 15 counties. As I mentioned, they are being guided. They want to make sure that whatever they say is going to be in line with what the Elections Commission is going to say, so as to avoid adding on to already a polarizing political climate here.
Now, James, voter turnout was said to be very low. How could this impact the final tally?
I think it's true, Vincent, the voter turnout was very low. And depending on who you talk to, some people say if the turnout was low, then it could favor the Vice President, Joseph Boakai, because probably he has voters who are more politically determined or mature to go to the polls, come what may. On the other hand, they say George Weah is being supported by a lot of young people. And given that the elections took place right after the Christmas, that may have also contributed to the polls, many people not coming to vote. So it can cut both ways. either the low turnout could benefit George Weah or it could benefit Vice President Joseph Boakai.
We'll wait and see, but I think George Weah will be extremely disappointed given the very